Have you ever listed your home and then waited and nothing happened? No offers, no real feedback, just silence. If you've ever been through that, you know silence is louder than rejection. At least rejection gives you information. Silence makes sellers spiral. You start thinking something is wrong. You start questioning the market, and you start wondering if buyers hate the house. And you start wondering if you made a mistake listing it at all. And here's the truth. Silence from buyers is not random. Silence is a message. Buyers are telling you something even when they are not saying anything. And if you learn how to read that message correctly, you can fix the problem fast before your listing goes stale, before you lose leverage, and before you end up chasing the market with price reductions and frustration. Hi, my name is Rima Rafay with the eXp Realty with the Rafay Group, and today we're talking about what silence really means, why buyers go quiet, and how smart sellers respond without panic. This is one of the most important topics for sellers today because the market has shifted. Buyers are still buying homes every single day, but they are buying differently. They are more selective and they're more cautious. They are more payment sensitive, and silence is one of the clearest signals you can get that something in your listing is not aligning with what buyers really want right now. The first thing you need to understand is that buyers shop online first. They do not shop in person first. So your home is judged in seconds on a screen, long before anyone schedules a showing. Silence usually starts online. So if buyers are not scheduling appointments, that first message, the message that something is causing the scroll to pass by. Buyers do not send you a note explaining why. They do not announce their objections. They do not call you to tell you why did not work. They simply move on. And silence is how buyers reject listings today. Quietly, instantly. So the question is not why buyers are quiet. The real question is what buyers are reacting to in today's market. There are two kinds of silence. There's a silence before showings and there's a silence after showings, and they mean completely different things. Let's start with silence before showings. If you have no activity, it's almost always a positioning problem. Positioning comes down to pricing, presentation, and competition, and sellers underestimate how quickly buyers filter options now. Let's talk about price first, because overpricing is the most common reason for silence. Buyers are extremely payment sensitive right now. They do not just look at the price, they look at the monthly payment. And even a slightly overpriced home feels dramatically more expensive in today's rate environment. Buyers will not try it anyway. They will skip it. They will scroll right past it. And here's the part sellers need to understand. Overpricing does not create negotiation room. Overpricing creates invisibility. A home that is priced just 10 or 20,000 above, where buyers feel comfortable, does not get slightly fewer offers. It often gets none. Because buyers search in price brackets, agents schedule tours within strict ranges, and buyers today assume that overpriced sellers are difficult before they even walk in. Now let's talk about presentation. Presentation is not just staging. Presentation is the story your home tells online. Photo matters, lighting matters, video matters, cleanliness matters. The first showing is digital, and buyers decide emotionally within seconds. If the home feels dark, cluttered, dated, or confusing, buyers move on immediately. And sellers often say, but my house looks fine in person. That may be true, but buyers don't get to in person unless your online presentation earns that visit. You're not competing with what buyers will feel inside. You're competing with what buyers see in a scroll. Now let's talk about competition. Buyers compare your home to everything else on the market. They compare you to remodeled homes. They compare you to new construction incentives. They compare you to home with better layouts. And they compare you to home with better natural light, better staging, and better marketing. So even if your home is nice, the competition may feel stronger and silence happens. Now here's something most sellers do not think about. Silence can also mean your home is almost right, but not compelling enough. Buyers in today's market are not desperate. They are selective. If a home feels like a maybe, they don't tour it. It feels like maybe in person, they don't offer. Silence is not always rejection. Sometimes silence is indifference, and indifference is the biggest enemy of a seller. Now, let's shift to silence after showings. This is the silence that drives sellers crazy, because sellers say people came through, so why isn't anyone writing? Here's what that silence usually means. Buyers saw something that did not match the online expectation. Maybe the photos looked bright, but the home felt dark. Maybe it looked spacious, but it felt tight. Maybe it looked updated, but it felt worn. The disconnect creates hesitation, and hesitation creates silence. Another reason is condition sensitivity. Today's buyers are less tolerant of work. They do not want projects homes. They don't want to spend weekend fixing things, and they don't want surprises. If they walk through and think this needs money, they go quiet and they go silent. And another reason is emotional pull. Buyers buy emotionally first, then justify logically. If your home does not create an emotional connection, buyers do not fight for it. They do not write, and they disappear, and silence happens again. Now here's the mistake sellers make. They treat silence like a bad luck, or they take it personally. Silence is data. Silence is market feedback. Smartest sellers respond early, not emotionally, because the longer your home sits, the louder the silence becomes. Then buyers start thinking, what's wrong with it? Silence creates staleness, and staleness creates discounts. Now let's talk about days on the market effect, because some sellers underestimate how buyers interpret time. Buyers watch listing like they watch products online. If something sits too long, buyers assume there's a reason, even when there isn't. A home can be perfectly fine, but once it sits, buyers assume hidden issues. They assume inspection problems, and they assume price reductions are coming. So they wait, and silence grows. This is why the first 2 weeks matter most. That's when your listing has momentum. Silence is the first 2 weeks is a message you cannot ignore. Now let's talk about what smart sellers do instead of panicking. Smart sellers diagnose. Is it price? Is it presentation? Is it competition? Or is it marketing reach? Is it a buyer tolerance? Because silence always has a reason. But the faster you adjust, the faster momentum returns. And here's a key point. Adjusting does not always mean cutting price immediately. Sometimes it means upgrading photos, sometimes it means improving showing access, and sometimes it means refreshing staging, and sometimes it means rewriting the listing description or repositioning the marketing strategy. Price is one leverage, but it's not the only leverage. Now let's talk about seller accessibility. Buyers today move fast when they feel something is right. If showings are hard to schedule, buyers move on silence can simply mean buyers couldn't get in. Sellers often don't realize how much flexibility matters. Now let's talk about your real estate agent follow-up. Silence can also be a communication issue. If a buyer's agent don't get responses quickly, they stop pushing the listing. If questions go unanswered, buyers move on. A strong listing agent prevents silence through proactive communication. The bottom line, silence from buyers is not random. Silence is communication. The market speaks not always with words, but always with behavior. Smart sellers learn how to listen early because the market always tells you what it thinks through action or through silence. If you are hearing silence, don't guess. Get a strategy, because the right adjustment at the right time can change everything. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like and share with the seller who is struggling in today's market with silence listing. This is Rima Rafay with the Rafay Group here with eXp Realty, and I'll see you in the next video.